everybody, peace and harmony with you here today. The malignant covert narcissist, the stealth bomber, the undetected, indistinguishable, self-centered individual, so unassuming, so meek, so approachable. They seem to have almost zero ego, and they also seem to be extremely selfless. These people attract all the do-gooders in life, the people who want to make a house a home, who want to make your day, the people who want to do good, your good Samaritans. They attract these people like magnets. And generally, being under the radar, meaning they're very nondescript, sometimes in their personality, very vanilla in terms of their personality. They don't really seem to have a lot of extremes on the exterior, not a lot of character maybe, soft-spoken, very soft-spoken or unspoken, very non-communicative in terms of lacking in terms of shape or character of their personality. You know, you don't really know what they stand for, what they represent. Sometimes they appear to be very sullen, almost sulky, or very, very weak in terms of being able to stand up for themselves, stand their ground. They don't have a very aggressive personality at all. A lot of people would consider them to not really have much of a personality. Yet it's what's lurking underneath, which is the narcissistic core that we're going to talk about here in this video, which is really kind of what's fueling that covert narcissistic personality and really takes people by surprise. Now, underneath, let's talk a little bit more about the symptoms or the outward manifestation, or what we would call the displayed personality traits or their actual behaviors. They are very hands-off, which means they are not going to be kind of spearheading a lot of projects, either in the relationship or around the house or at their work. They're going to be very sideline type of people, not really going to be taking the helm in very much of anything. They're going to provide, but their presence is going to be one that is very meek, and it seems like it's very humble, very unassuming, and passive to the point where there's a fault. Passive to a fault. Meek to a fault. Uncommunicative to a fault. And this exterior, though, this outward manifestation, these outward personality traits, belay a core or a true person underneath that, which generally is feeling superior, better than those people around them. For whatever reason they've arrived at this is just how they feel. Maybe it was born into them, that feeling. Maybe it was bred into them as youngsters. Now, the malignant covert narcissist is extremely dangerous. Malignant, often referred to as a tumor, mal meaning bad, genus meaning origin, so of having a bad origin is the meaning of malignant. So the malignant narcissist, who is almost like a contagion or a virus, can corrupt those people around them in an infectious way, meaning they're more like a vacuum. So they abuse more by chronic and constant taking from their environment. So absorbing all of the good without reflecting that back. So in other words, it's just like a very passive hostility. And the hostility is like the silent killer. The hostility is more in what is unspoken than what is spoken. The neglect which is the apparent, just obvious neglect, which means unattending. But it's the unattendance, the inattendance, the inattention that is devastating because they're not fulfilling their role. It's like a blatant ignoring that is hurtful. So it's like an underhanded hurt. It's a super underhanded curveball hurt. In other words, you're so not deserving of attention that I'm not going to guide you where needed. I think that's the message that those people in the environment that they pick up from the covert narcissist is that you are so unworth my attention. You're just like a scrap. You're not even a scrap. You're not even worth looking at. You're not worth speaking to. You are not worth patting on the back. You're just invisible. And a lot of people who are around these people, they say that they feel invisible. I don't know if they feel like they're walked through, but that's what I've heard stated. They feel invisible, and I'm like, well, I can see you right here. I'm talking to you, and I hear you, and I'm listening to you. But that's how some of these people have said they have felt when they're around this type of person, that they feel invisible. Again, it's one of those very elusive, depersonalized situations that we discuss here on this channel in terms of a symptom of abuse. And it's a depersonalization, which means you feel like you're not acknowledged as a human. Like your energy, you just feel like you're not attended to, you're not spoken to in a humanizing way. It's a very depersonalizing sort of aura and treatment. I kind of think of it as it's kind of like some of the psychopath or narcissists that I've come in contact with. This is more of the overt variety, but I think the impact is the same. The narcissist who is just talking about how great they are, how great their work is. This is my fourth house. This is a, such and such return from my last trip. And, while we were there, we had this beautiful dinner overlooking such and such a river, and our lunches were $160 a piece. And, this was in this our view. The relationship was all about them. There was no question, how are you doing? Oh, good to see you here today. What are you up to? What's going on with you in your life? It's just a complete obliteration of myself as a presence. Like, I'm basically just there to observe you. Like, I'm just here as some sort of stockpile to just hear out how great your last vacation was, and the fact that you just had a $160 meal. Like, I'm supposed to be impressed, and like I'm supposed to give you some sort of reaction. That's the feeling when you're around this overt narcissist. Okay, great. You had this expensive lunch overlooking this view. Like, what did you have to do? Climb through a keyhole to get there? And it's like, and what was your big victory? The takeaway from these people's story is sometimes it's very condescending. The same narcissist, joining all the great country clubs, etc. Food and drink there is very expensive, and they, as the members, probably spending maybe $150,000 a year to become a member. And when you're there with them, they want to invite you there, but yet, and they want to show you this club, and they're going to get a glass of wine, and so you want to get a glass of wine, but you're paying your own $10. It's just they're going to really scrimp when it comes to you. They're going to, they're not going to be there for you in certain ways. They're going to flaunt all their possessions, all their money, but it's just like you're expected to pick up their tab more than once, if not all the time. It's really, really bizarre. I mean, you're going to have to get them the gifts. It's just like for being, you know, like, oh wow, to be in your presence. I'm going to have to drive you. I'm going to have to buy your wine. I'm going to have to buy your dinner. I'm going to have to be your chauffeur. And I have the privilege of being with you. I mean, is this what I'm supposed to feel? I mean, that's how you feel around the overt narcissist, but I think the same feeling occurs when you're with this covert narcissist, is you feel like, I'm just here to serve your end and your ends alone. And you end up feeling really trashed from it because you just feel like the real them has never spoken up to you. So the relationship doesn't have that back and forth, what I call reciprocity. I mean, there's so much that goes unstated, but yet what's unstated speaks volumes. And if, in other words, if they don't speak to you, it's communicating in a very profound way. You're not worthy of me reaching out to. You're not worthy of me talking to. You're not worthy. You're not deserving. You're not good enough. You're lacking. You know, why don't you get yourself a this, that, and the other thing, when they should have been, you know, involved with that. It's just like, it's like they're blaming you for something that they should be faulted for. It's a very strange phenomenon, but that is the symptom of the covert narcissist abuse. And it's not that what they're outwardly doing, it's what they're outwardly not communicating, not giving, not sharing, not extolling of their values, is that deficit, that void that they display. That's the display, but it's more the unspoken feeling and their behaviors that create that environment of abuse and neglect and the ignoring and the withholding of that which is to be expected, that which is normal, that which is just part of life. They're sure partaking in other parts of their life, but they're somehow withholding it from you, which is their source of supply, which they're feeling like they're getting supply from you just for the sheer fact that you should be catering to them in all sorts of ways. So if that is what you've been through, please acknowledge that abuse, and you are a wonderful person and you deserve to have reciprocity in your relationships, and acknowledge for the wonderful person that you are. And you should have those provisions for you. So it's a true give and take. So you feel energized after the relationship and you feel good about yourself and the other person. Peace and harmony with you here today. Hoping these videos help. Please share, please subscribe for more great tools, videos, and discussions. Make it a beautiful day.